With historic low interest rates, this may be the perfect time to refinance or to buy your dream home. Call Ishu Yochana today, a loan consultant at Loan Depot, for a complimentary loan consultation. Ishu is fluent in English and Assyrian, possesses over 18 years of experience, and is licensed in Arizona, California, Florida, Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin.
إيمان وايلة أكسيدنت اتنرابا ناشا ليطي متبال سلطة شكلي. اتلا نسيانة بدانا كيسس ات انجري لو و بيالباية قريمخ. إن آتن ينكل باتت بيتا خزموخن يطانة اتلوخن بوقارة مخبرون المنيان التلفون 8 أربع شوا وچا 8 تري وچا 5 خا اشتا يعني توخن بيت injuryrights.com. شمي إلى توني كالاغراكس كي يمزمن لشان خلية يما.
شلام عليكم، أنا ريبيكا سايمون من جيبت يوداعة شاميران قابلوكم من بشينة. أرخن أمان أوديو إلى ياسمين قد إلى خادنا زمرتا آتوريتا وزمرتولا سوغيتت أمتانيتت أمريكا يعني National Anthem ات أمريكا يتردانه ستاديوم جوري بتردانه طليات الرابري شايد أمريكا. اتقامتها فيتلا NBA طالتت NBA ات Phoenix Suns Western Conference Finals game ودت تري فيتلا طالتت NFL ات Arizona Cardinals versus Chicago Bears. ياسمين هردانتا اتلا خا ماسترز degree جافت management. أباهو بيشنا بريه جافت أطرا عراق إنا ياسمين و أخونو جمع بيشنا بريه جو أمريكا. ياسمين أديك خيا جافت أريزونا أطرت أمريكا. من قام همزمتن من ياسمين شارخلا بطلابن من فريدريك بروديوسرن قد متيلا قد زمرتو لياسمين جافت فينيكس سان جافت ستاديوم. إن بس مالوخون ماشي منال داز برد.
Military families throughout Arizona, Northern Arizona University brings you today's presentation of the national anthem, performed by international recording artist, singer-songwriter in the Valley's own Yasmine.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets rang loud, bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
Yasmine, Shlamalach, Pshenetilach, al Yudaat Shamiran. Hello, welcome to Shamiran Media. We're very excited to be speaking to a renowned Assyrian artist. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and I'm very excited.
Yasmine, as I was watching your performance at a stadium with thousands of people in attendance and being broadcasted nationally. I felt it was such a breathtaking experience. How did you feel being in front of these tens of thousands of people and much more in the audience at their homes? What was the experience
I
like?
mean, it's always such a surreal experience. It's also very humbling, I think, more than anything, just the fact that I'm able to be up there and singing and doing what I love, and also, yeah, representing my home state and also America with singing the anthem. So it's just a surreal feeling, lots of nerves, but also happy nerves, I would say. So it's all amazing. A lot of things were going through my mind during that time, but just yeah, it's just an experience I'll never forget. I loved it. Always, yeah, it's great.
Did it get easier the second time that you performed? Did you have a different feeling or it was the same?
You know, it's always different each time. Because this was the first time in over 10 years that the Suns have been in the Western Conference Finals or that have gone to the finals. It was, I would say, more nerves just because of the intensity of the game and the type of game it was. So, yeah, just a lot more nerves, a lot more excitement overall, I would say.
How did an Assyrian girl whose parents came from Atra, Iraq, a daughter of Arizona, get a deal like this?
You know, it's this particular incident was kind of through word of mouth. They came across my video of me singing
Who's
the
they?
anthem. The
Who's
people
they?
that work at the Yeah, the people that work at the Suns just came across a video of me singing at a previous NFL game, and then it kind of just happened from there. It happened within days. They actually reached out and they said, "Are you available for this game?" And I was like, "Yes, of course." I'm a huge Suns fan, so it was just very, very exciting when I received that message. And then, yeah, a few days later, it was the game, and I showed up, and kind of how it all happened.
Did you have to have special rehearsal for for to sing the song?
Um, Rehearsal within myself. Like I definitely rehearsed at home and, did a lot of put on a few hours rehearsing the anthem. But yeah, nothing with the Suns. I showed up the day of the event. I showed up a few hours before. We ran through rehearsal, kind of went through what the entire process was going to look like, and that was really it with the Suns. But yeah, definitely lots of rehearsal at home.
Was this a volunteering kind of a work, or were you compensated for it?
So the anthem is particularly always giving your time and also, utilizing their platform. So in exchange, that's how you're compensated. But yeah, more volunteer versus being compensated.
If you were to be asked again to sing at a stadium for any other game, would you accept?
Oh yes, I love doing it. It's always brings me so much joy. And I'm just such a huge Suns fan and sports fan, so I love being part of that and being part of the energy and then just singing, being able to sing. So it overall everything makes me happy. I would always do it. I love it.
To a national audience. It's so wonderful, especially for us Assyrians, to see one of our girls having such a fantastic exposure nationwide. What, Shirley, did you have any kind of contacts from people as a result of performing? Anybody notice you, offer you any kinds of deals?
I wouldn't say necessarily deals, but people from around the valley in Arizona definitely start to take notice. I had the owners of Barrett Jackson, or the CEO and his wife of Barrett Jackson, the huge car show. They were at the game, so they reached out, and then I ended up recently singing the national anthem at their event. So it kind of just becomes more, like you said, exposure, and then inviting me to do other performances around the valley or at other events. So I would say that's definitely what has been coming out of it. So,
What about any
and then
kind
of
of
course,
perks? Do you get like tickets to the games that you can go in and watch the games in the stadium?
we definitely get tickets the day I perform, but no
I
additional
hope so.
tickets. Yeah, yeah, definitely tickets to the game I perform at, but no additional tickets like throughout the season. But we'll get there. It'll come.
Yasmine, you are not only an artist with a big voice, but you're also a very educated young lady. Why not just go do management work? That's what you went to school and trained for and educated in, and just do management work and play it safe in life.
You know, that is that is a question that I will constantly, you know, come across in my mind. But music's just always been a dream of mine ever since I was young. I went to school wanting to pursue music. 10 years later, I still want to pursue music. It's just something that's so heavy on my heart that I know that I need to share. There's songs that I want to share, and just being able to use this gift is something that I've always wanted to do, something I've always dreamt of. And I know playing it safe can be easier, and it's going the safer route, but yeah, that's just something it's always been a dream. It's something that it's my passion. It's what I love to do. So I chose to go the riskier route versus playing it a little safe.
Like a lot of artists say, yes, it's a very risky business, the entertainment business. But if they don't
Yeah.
pursue it somewhere, sometime, somehow, something inside them it would be lacking. There's a calling to be an artist. So you are satisfying that part of you. That is very nice. Anyone in your family with a nice singing voice? Did you inherit that?
Yeah. Yes, I want to say a lot of my family members are very musical. My uncle sings. I feel like so many members just have such beautiful voices. But mainly my dad, he actually tried to pursue a music career growing up, and then he got married. But he pursued Arabic, did an Assyrian album, did an Arabic album, and he just has such a wonderful, powerful voice, and he's always been the one teaching me growing up and supporting me. So I would say a lot of influence has come from my dad.
What is your dad's name?
Jamal.
Jamal?
Yeah.
Is there any way we Assyrians can hear any of his songs, albums? Are they on Spotify, on YouTube, somewhere?
You know, he may have a few songs online. But I definitely have his album, so I will share those with you and send them
Okay.
over.
Okay, so that's Jamal? Jamal
Yes,
Hormus.
Jamal Hormis, yeah.
Okay, so if our audience is curious enough to know Yasmine's father, how he sings, perhaps they can find him somewhere on the internet.
Yes, I'm sure there has to be a few songs somewhere roaming
Yasmine,
around.
I hope so. Yasmine, do you sing in any other languages? Arabic, Assyrian, French, whatever language?
I am primarily English. I'm working on learning to sing in Assyrian. That is one of my goals. But once I'm confident enough, I will definitely start releasing more of just at least covers or singing in Assyrian and kind of hopefully represent um, my culture in that way. But not yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not fully confident yet. So just English.
Okay, so there's a rain check on that. I just want you to be aware of it.
Yes. You'll be the first person I send it to.
Thank you very much for the honor. Yasmine, who is your biggest supporter? Who has really said, you know, this thing is not easy to do, but go for it, girl? Who gave you that push?
I would definitely say my family, and most of all my dad, because he just understands the process and the journey, and he understands what it feels like to have that dream and that passion and to not pursue it. He's lived with that as well. So he sees the he sees all sides of the situation, and he's like, there's nothing more I want. He's like, if I couldn't do it, then it's up to you. It's for you to do it. And so to have that support, especially from your dad, and for him to even understand where I'm coming from and my passion is just, yeah, that's priceless. And I think that's been the biggest support.
It is really priceless to have people support you for what you love to do and a very challenging career. It's not easy to make it in the entertainment industry. So kudos to your family for doing that. Yasmine, have you been trained? Has your voice been trained? How did you learn to sing?
I've had a few vocal coaches growing up, but nothing too consistent. I would say looking back, the biggest influence over my life was just listening to great vocalists like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, and Celine Dion. Those are vocalists that I would just constantly listen to, rehearse with, practice their notes, practice their songs, and they've honestly challenged me to grow my voice, to become better. And I would definitely say that was the way that I rehearsed and grew my voice. And yeah, and then later on in life, I had a few vocal coaches that would help me, but I definitely give credit to listening to great vocalists as my vocal coach, I would say.
So basically, you're self-taught. I mean, you train your own voice by listening to the greatest and practicing on your own. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, a lot of practice. Looking back at my childhood, all I would think of is just spending hours in my room singing and hearing my brother screaming at me, telling me to shut up or be quiet. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of rehearsing and just being in my room and practicing.
That's amazing. That's what passion and love does. It forces you or inspires you, rather, to practice. How does a singer take care of her voice so it's not stressed? It can expand further. What do you do to take care of your voice?
I would say the biggest thing for me is sleep. That's the most healing process that you could offer for your body, is just sleeping and resting well, and that offers the best the best way for my voice to sustain and just be healthy is making sure I get enough sleep and water. Those two things are key for successful vocals.
Well, I knew that water and sleep are two natural medicines for a lot of woes, but I didn't know even a singing voice needs a good night of sleep and water.
Yes. Staying hydrated, good rest. And then of course, vocal warm-ups are always what make sure that I'm not straining my voice, or warms up my vocals so that I'm not restricting my vocal cords in any way. But I would definitely say sleep is number one.
That's great. For how long more you think you're gonna keep singing? If you become successful, of course, for as long as you can. But in the event, I don't want to get negative here, but just realistically, for how long more can you hang in there and just try? Have you thought about it, or you're gonna just not think about that and just do it?
I try not to think about that, but it's natural. It's definitely a thought that crosses my mind often. Is, do I put a timeline on this? But that's a tough question. That's a tough question to answer. I would say I take it step by step. So I'm working on my first album, and that's kind of my timeline right now, is to kind of gauge where my career is headed, is by giving myself this first album and seeing what happens from there. But yeah, that is a tough question to answer in terms of my timeline.
It will probably depend on the circumstances and situations at the time that you are on a decision-making platform, thinking what you want to do in life. We will be talking about your album, which I know a little bit about it, and I'm very excited that you are about to release it. We will talk later on in the second half of our interview about your album. Right now, would you like to play a song? I know you play the piano and you play the guitar. Would you like to sing a song for us? Play the guitar?
Yes, I would love to.
What would you sing for us?
So actually this song is a song I wrote titled Made to Win, and it's basically about my journey in the industry and kind of just situations I faced and how it inspired me to continue pushing, and how I also turn those situations to hopefully inspire others to just never compromise who they are. I think that what's put in your heart is something that you should always go after, and you should never have to compromise yourself, what you believe in, your talent, your gifts, to accommodate other people's goals or whatever. So yeah, this is Made to Win, and it's about that.
Excellent. I love the title. Let's hear it.
Thank you. All right. When I was 20 years old, they asked me to sell my soul, sing songs so irrelevant, and wear less clothes, 'cause they looked at me simply as a dollar while they're scrambling to try to reach a quarter. How would I begin to even tell my father if I sold my soul? Is this how I reach my goal? And sometimes I just wanted to quit when they take my dream, treat it like a slave ship. But I know deep down I was made to win. I could battle my odds and grow some thicker skin, 'cause baby, I'm built for this. I was made to win. So darling, don't you cry when they look you in the eyes. We were made to win, we were made to win, we were made to win. I used to let my fears dictate my present, and my past dictate my fears. But thank your past for all your life lessons. It's that journey that brought you here. So don't let them tell you that you're never good enough. You're placed on this earth to do everything that you love. And when they try to define you, I'll be here to remind you Darling, don't you cry when they look you in the eyes and tell you you can fly. They'll beat you with the lies. They're scared to see you win when it doesn't benefit them. Boy, we were made to win. We were made to win. Yeah, yeah. Yay.
Yay! I love that. That's an
Thank you.
attitude, young lady. That's how you win if you believe that you can win. A good voice and a winning attitude, you add them together, equals success. I love that. Thank you. And you wrote that yourself, right?
Yes. Yeah, I wrote that song in LA when I was living out there, but yeah, I love
So
sharing
you were
that
living
one.
in
I love
LA?
performing.
You were living
Yes,
in
I
LA and
was
you
there for,
wrote this?
yeah. Yep.
So what happens when, how do the words come to you? What happened?
You know, that one, especially this song, that this was just inspired by life, and just kind of reflecting on my journey and seeing everything I've gone through, and yeah, those words. I remember writing this song particularly, and those words were just it was, yeah, they were coming within like minutes, just because I was feeling a certain way about my journey that day, and kind of just reflecting out of frustration, and yeah, the words just came to me in that moment. This was probably one of my fastest songs I wrote. I would say I spent a couple hours on it and completed it.
Wow. And never went back and edited it? It was right the first
No,
time?
yeah,
That's wonderful. So you turned a frustrated feeling into a beautiful song.
yeah. That's always been my process. I'm such a reserved person, and I don't really wear my heart on my sleeve. Um, yeah, and so my form of therapy is just writing it into a song and singing about it, and then releasing it in that way. So yeah.
Cry through your songs and then journey to healing. That's what I
Yes,
would
I
call
love,
the process, and it's amazing.
yeah, I
It's
love that.
wonderful. We will now take a sponsor's break, and when we come back, we will talk to Yasmine about her new album to be released, I guess, in spring of this year. And then we'll talk about much more. Stay tuned, please.
With historic low interest rates, this may be the perfect time to refinance or to buy your dream home. Call Ishu Yohana today, a loan consultant at Loan Depot, for a complimentary loan consultation. Ishu is fluent in English and Assyrian, possesses over 18 years of experience, and is licensed in Arizona, California, Florida, Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin.
إيمان وايلة أكسيدنت اتنرابا ناشا ليطي متبصل قد شكلي. اتلا نسيانة بدنا كيسس ات injury law. و بيالباية قريمخ. إن آتن ينكل بتت بيتا خزموخن يطانة اتلوخن بوقارة مخبرون المنيان التلفون 8 أربع شوا وچا 8 تري وچا 5 خا اشتا يعني توكن بيت injuryrights.com. شمي إلى توني كالغراكس كيام زمن لشان خلية يما.
Hello, Yasmine.
Hello.
Hello, our audience. We're back with Yasmine. You have an album that you're going to be releasing in spring of this year. You wrote all of the songs, the lyrics, and you put the music on yourself. How many songs are in this album?
We are looking between 7 to 9 songs for this album, and we may do a little more, but in the moment right now, we're around 7 to 9 songs.
So why are you not decided how many songs you're going to have?
So we're currently still in the recording process of it. I would say we're about halfway through. And I think what really determines the number is a completed album and kind of just playing it front to back and living with the entire album, and then that will confirm what songs I want to keep, what songs I want to take away, or even if I feel like I need to add more songs. So
that's entirely your choice and your decision.
oh yeah, I definitely am fully hands-on with my project. I have my music partner who also writes with me, and he definitely respects my final say. So yeah, I would say we tag team pretty well and decide on that together.
You have a very interesting name for your album, which is
Marina Del Rey.
Marina Del Rey is a coastal city in Southern California. It's a beautiful city. Now, why did you name that Marina Del Rey?
So in 2017, I moved from Phoenix to Los Angeles, and the city that I chose was Marina Del Rey. I just fell in love with the calmness of it, how peaceful it is, and the fact that it was, very, like you said, it's a coastal city. So I lived there for 3 years, and it was just one of the most life-changing 3 years of my life. A time period that I'll never forget. And I basically moved back in 2020, and I spent the entire year writing about Marina Del Rey and my experiences, and finding love, losing love, basically stepping outside of my comfort zone and discovering how to live in a brand new city without family, without friends. And it was just such a growing period for me. And yeah, I spent the entire year writing about it. So it's essentially like my love story and my breakup with Marina Del Rey and the city.
When an artist gets stirred up inside, as you were in the years away from your family, living in Marina Del Rey, that's when a lot of great work could happen if you grab the opportunity, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, when you step outside of your comfort zone and get uncomfortable, it's definitely life-changing, and there's a lot of growth to be found when you're in that area. So
which one of these songs, it's a difficult question, but which one of these songs is your favorite from this album?
so we have a song titled Wrong for You. And we went to LA and worked with the producer. His name was Tushar. So he also helped us write the song. And that's so far my favorite song on the album. It's different from what I've released. It has a different sound. And it's just such an honest record. And it's one of my favorites so far. So I'm really, really excited to share that record.
We're really looking forward to your album being released and hear all the songs and get familiar with the various stories that you're willing to tell us through your songs and lyrics. Yasmine, have you thought about collaborating with any Assyrian singers? We have quite a few good Assyrian singers. Have you ever thought about it? Have you been approached?
I would love to. I'm never opposed to that. I would love to collaborate. I know me and Ramson Shino have spoken about doing a song together, so I'm still waiting for that. That would be amazing. I'm definitely.
Come on, Ramson. Come on. Look, grab the opportunity.
Yeah, we always talk about it. We just never come around to doing it, but it'll happen. I know.
In time.
Yeah.
If there's willingness, in time.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if I want to put you on the spot. You don't have to answer this, but do you have a favorite Assyrian singer?
I'm gonna go with my dad.
Yay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
Jamal.
I'm
We
gonna
should have invited him and have him sing for us.
yeah, I know. He's just yeah, his voice is amazing and sometimes I'm just in awe like the world needs to hear his voice, but I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
It's my biased answer, I guess.
All right. Do you still hear him going from room to room, humming tunes loudly
Oh yeah.
at your home?
Yes, definitely. It's funny because he'll be singing, I'm singing, and it's just like everybody's singing, and he's singing in a different language. I'm in English, so it's fun. It's a musical home. I love it.
May I propose a future duet?
Yes, it'll happen. It's on
Is
my
it in the
list.
works? Do you talk about it?
We always talk about it, but we have nothing set in stone. We haven't written anything together, but I promise you that will for sure happen.
All you need to do is sit down, write the lyrics and the music. You're pretty capable of doing that. That's all it
Yeah,
takes, right?
you're
And
yes, you are
you
very
can sing in English and he can sing in Assyrian and the translation of the same story in two different languages. How
yeah.
about that?
Yes, I'm all for it.
All right.
Yes, I'm gonna work on this.
Great. Yasmine, what about a music video? Are you thinking about doing a music video on your album?
So definitely releasing music videos for the album. That's a must because I love music videos. I love getting in that creative world and sort of just drawing out a vision or basically what I envision for the song. And I love being hands-on with that. And I'm actually releasing a music video in the coming weeks, I would say in a few weeks, for my new single, Darkest Hour. And I cannot wait to share that video.
The Darkest Hour. Oh, I
Yes.
want to hear that.
Yeah.
I want to hear
It'll be,
that. You turned it into a song. We all have our darkest hours, and
yep.
you made it into a song.
أن يوماني خشكانت أمتن شلخلن على إيقارن وبرقال الطورانة مقوخلن بخوداتن لجداي ماريروتا عمن طويل على النيشة وقمشخيلة جو خبة لا شو قتلي لو سقطت أولصانا وخشكة خي
The rain and my storms are pouring. My drive home is filled with doubt. Are you running to come and save me, or on your way out? I know that I don't need saving, but I need you to hold me down. Are you there through the good and ugly, or on your way out? So tell me that you love me when my night falls. Are you right there to help me through it all? Tell me that you'll need me when I'm failing and my head's caught in the clouds. Are you ever leaving? Will you leave me lonely? So tell me, baby, you'll be my safety. Are you ever leaving? Will you leave me lonely? Oh, don't leave me in my darkest hour. Don't leave me in my darkest hour. I need you in my darkest hour. Don't leave me in my darkest hour. I hate that I need your safety when my morning is filled with doubt. Still, I love that you'll never break me. I seem to find my way through the clouds. All your weight on my shoulders, you're thinking it's over, but I'll never let you hold me down. I'm still here through the good and ugly. I found my way out. Are you ever leaving? Will you leave me lonely? So tell me, baby, you'll be my safety. Are you ever leaving? Will you leave me lonely? Oh, don't leave me in my darkest hour. Don't leave me in my darkest hour. I need you in my in my darkest hour. Don't leave me in my darkest hour. I need you in my darkest hour. Don't leave me in my darkest hour. Don't leave me in my darkest hour. Don't leave me in my darkest hour. I need you in my darkest hour. Help me find my way out.
Yasmine, has there been an experience in your life growing up or as an adult that has left a long lasting impression on you?
Yeah. You know, I would say growing up, my family has always had such an influence. You know, just conversations we have, and their experiences and their wisdom just hold so much weight. But specifically speaking, I would say a specific experience that has had an impression. I went to Haiti in 2013, and that was just such a life-changing experience. It was after they had many natural disasters, but we went out there to help rebuild homes, and I would just say I left with an experience that I'll never forever forget. I'll never forget. And just the fact that, you know, people are there with no homes, really not much, nothing to, yeah, there's so many people that are walking barefoot and very little food. And you speak to them and they just have the most positive outlook on life. They're just very hopeful, and grateful. And it just was something, just a perspective that I've never seen before. And just, you know, coming from my small bubble in Phoenix, Arizona, and then going out there to experience that, it was, yeah, just a long lasting impression on me that I'll never forget. And it just, it's always a reminder that no matter what you're going through in life, um, you know, people have it worse, things could be worse, and just to always remain grateful. And that's a lesson that I'll always carry with me.
Adversities like that, and you know, watching how other people live, but not even having the basics in life gives you a perspective on life. It makes you, on one end, sad, and then on the other end, a happier person because you've got a lot more. I personally have talked to friends who were missionaries in Haiti. And the stories they tell me are heartbreaking of what is happening in that country. Not only there's political corruption, but the natural disasters and the poverty and the hunger and lack of medical care and so much more. It's really heartbreaking. So I can see how that can be an impressionable memory for you. Now, on a happier note, Yasmine, do you think we'll ever see you touring from city to city, if not for an American audience, but a concert of sorts for the Assyrians?
Yes, absolutely. Touring is a huge goal for me, and I will definitely make touring happen worldwide. That's my goal, and I'm putting it out there. So we will be
Well, you
touring
were
for sure.
introduced at the Suns game, Phoenix Suns game. You were introduced as an international artist, and I heard that, and I said, "Yay!"
Yes, we have to always represent my side and my culture.
So let's assume and hope and wish that you will be a renowned international artist. Everybody knows you. They play your songs in their quiet times or in their busy times. They just want to hear your songs and your voice. What does Yasmine wants to do with all that fame?
That is a great question. It's funny because looking back, and looking back at when I was younger, you know, you're like, I want to be famous, I want to be a singer, and you really don't understand the capacity of it or why you want to do it. I think at the time it was just because I loved music and I loved singing so much. But as I get older, and for me, it's not about the fame or whatever comes with it. The fame actually is a little scary in my opinion, but for me, I think it's bigger than the music. I see music and utilizing my gift of singing and writing songs. I just see that as a tool of what could really happen and what the influence that I would love to make on this world and the impact that I would love to leave behind. And that's just what's most important to me, is being able to use music as a tool and use my gift to just help people, or use my songs to bring people through situations. And you know, it's there's a lot of confirmation when I receive messages from people who are like, you know, I'm going through this situation and your song helped me through it, or your song inspired me. And so I feel like that's just what it's all about. And yeah, I would just love to use my platform to help better this world, to help leave a light, to help inspire. That's just what's so heavy on my heart. And so, yeah, I think it's bigger than the music and the fame and all the material aspect of it.
So not only you want to express your talent in music, but you also want to touch lives. You've been to Haiti. You know what life could be for a lot of people. And that's what you want to do. That's commendable, Yasmine. Any advice to the young and coming artists who are trying to find their place in the arts world?
Yes, my number one advice, which is what Made to Win was about, the song that I sang, is to never compromise. Especially at a young age. I know you're faced with so many directions. You're faced with trends that don't suit your lifestyle or don't suit what's in your heart. And it's just my number one advice is to never compromise. Don't lose sight of who you are and what you want to share with the world. So always stick to that. That's my biggest advice. I'll always tell that to everybody, because you can easily get lost in everything.
And what do you mean by never compromise? Is that compromise in quality? What do you really mean by compromise?
Yeah, never compromise what you believe in. Don't compromise, you know, singing a song that is different from what you would love to sing. I would, you know, when I was 20, we took meetings in New York, and there was just a few meetings where they're like, you know, she's talented, she's great, but we want her to sing these songs and, you know, wear these types of clothing, or, you know, dress a certain way. And for me, that's compromising. That's something that I was not willing to do. And I was like, a deal, signing a record label isn't more important than not having the opportunity to share who I am and what's in my heart. So that's definitely what I mean by not compromising. I think that's my number one message. Don't ever compromise.
So you rejected a record deal because it wasn't suited to who you are. Is that right?
Yeah.
Any regrets?
No, not at all.
Could you have negotiated with them?
Yeah, especially during that time, deals were a little tougher. Yeah, there's really no room to negotiate. They kind of handle and control a lot of your career. And so I definitely have no regrets. I feel like had I gone down that route, I would have been a different artist, and an unhappier artist that really was confined to walls that, you know, didn't define me or portray me the way I am. So yeah, no regrets at all.
Well,
I know this journey is longer now, but it'll be more rewarding in the end for sure.
And more self-respect and self-authenticity. And what you just told me reminded me of Frank Sinatra's song, an old song, I Did It My Way. You did it your way, and I wish you all the best. And thank you for sitting down and talking to us. And once you're an international superstar, don't forget the little Yuda at Shamiran Media. You can walk into our studio and talk to us.
Yes, I will, absolutely. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share my story. And yeah, it was great.
Thank you, Yasmine. Best wishes to you. And we're impatiently waiting to hear all of your 7 to 9, 10 songs on your new album, Marina Del Rey.
Yes, I love how you say it.
Yeah, I just gave it an accent. Yasmine, thank you again. Best wishes to you. Say hello to your parents, to your twin brother. And we will be hearing from you soon, I hope, through your songs, your music, the great news. Thank you very much, Shamiran Media audience. Please, please support this beautiful artist with a magical voice. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
I guess you moved on really easily. You found a new girl and it only took a couple weeks. Remember when you said you wanted to give me the world? And good for you, I guess that you've been working on yourself. I guess that therapist I found for you, she really helped. Now you can be a better man for your brand new girl. Well, good for you, you look happy and healthy, not me, if you ever cared to ask. Good for you, you're doing great out there without me, baby. God, I wish that I could do that. I lost my mind, I spent the night crying on the floor of my bedroom. You're so unaffected, I really don't get it, I guess. Good for you. Good for you, good for you.
With historic low interest rates, this may be the perfect time to refinance or to buy your dream home. Call Ishu Yohana today, a loan consultant at Loan Depot, for a complimentary loan consultation. Ishu is fluent in English and Assyrian, possesses over 18 years of experience, and is licensed in Arizona, California, Florida, Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin.
إيمان وايلة أكسيدنت اتنرابا ناشا ليطي متبال سلطة شكلي. اتلا نسيانة بدنا كيسس ات injury law. و بيالباية قريمخ. إن آتن ينكل بتت بيتا خزموخن يطانة اتلوخن بوقارة مخبرون المنيان التلفون 8 أربع شوا وچو 8 تري وچو 5 خا يعني توخن بيت injuryrights.com. شمي إلى توني كالغراكس كي يمزمن لشان خلية يما